Wales in Canada with a mixture of youth and experience. The Welsh looking to build on that victory over England towards a clash with the All Blacks in the autumn. Gerald Davies, what should we be looking for from this tour?
The most important thing, primarily, to win all the matches. Then secondly, I think to see whether younger, less experienced players can weld together with the senior members of the team. And in all, I think, after the end of this tour, the important for John Ryan to see after last season, after the experience against the All Blacks the last summer, to see whether the team then can regain its confidence.
3 straight victories in Eastern Canada, Ontario providing some opposition. But the major challenges are to come in the West, beginning with a virtual test against the national side under the guise of Rugby Canada. Well, they also take the opportunity of giving youth some experience. They include 4 members of the side that faced Wales in the World Cup, wingers Palmer and Gray, outside half Rees and number 8 Ennis. But at full-back, Scott Stewart, who toured Wales with the juniors in the autumn, gets a run-out. 9 caps then in this Canadian side, 8 in the Welsh team. Paul Thorburn, the skipper, and the front row, among others, providing the backbone. Young pairings, though, at half-back in Bridges and Stevens, and at lock, Wakeford and Llewellyn. Mike Budd, a consistent performer for some seasons now, lining up in the back row with Mark Jones and David Bryant. The referee, Don Reardon of the United States, a vastly experienced official. Wales in their usual red this time, not green as in the World Cup, ready to kick off. So it's the skipper then, Paul Thorburn, who gets this game underway in absolutely brilliant sunshine. Wales looking for a good early start here. 29 tries they've scored on tour already, so they're in pretty good form. But a fine kick there by outside half Gareth Rees. And he would suggest a Welsh father, in fact, Alan, the liaison officer for the Canadian Rugby Union on this tour. By Wales there, the ball going forward, and referee Reardon then calling them back for a scrum down. Wales will be looking to that experienced front row to get them settled, and the punch going in there on the front row early on. Referee Reardon pulling Mark Jones away. The fighting still continuing, in fact, though. The referee not, in fact, getting in the middle of them there, just happy to blow his whistle and wait for them to cool down. Bringing in the Canadian hooker Spears there, I think. And the skippers, Roy Radu, the number 7 for Canada, and Paul Thorburn. Mark Jones also involved in this discussion.
But it was something, I think, very similar to what happened in the Wales-England game. There was a clash of heads in the front row. It seemed to be accidental, but I think it was misinterpreted by the Canadians. That caused the fracas.
The pick-up on halfway then by Glenn Ennis to the scrum half Tynan. The kick downfield by Gareth Rees. Ball knocked forward again. Ian Watkins, though, comes away for Wales. Up then, over halfway. Good run. Out to Steve Ford on the right wing. Chance for him to show his paces. Jinking back inside. Good play by Ford. The long pass, and it's Colin Stevens, the man who scored the first try of this tour, gets the first one of this match to put Wales into the lead.
But it arose out of a mistake in the Canadian camp in the first place, but some good quick-witted reaction by Ian Watkins here as we see him coming away. Good pass there to Ford on the wing. He comes back inside, looks as if originally as if he might have lost himself, but he does well, keeps his head, and then finds plenty of support to the left, and it's Stevens who scores near the post.
Colin Stevens' his second try of the tour. Paul Thorburn converts. So a good start then by Wales, leading by 6 points to 0. So a great start by Wales as Gareth Rees restarts. John Wakeford going up for it. Just can't quite take the ball cleanly. The ball squirting back for Bridges. Flicks it up though for Mark Jones. In open play, a fine run then by the number 8. Striding away, Ford outside him. And a great chance here for Wales to score their second try in as many minutes. And that's try number 11 of the tour for Steve Ford.
We have seen this kind of running from Mark Jones in the past. He is very good indeed. Once he gets the ball in his hands, he finds some space, and really those long strides of his gets away from the defence. Let's look at it again. Here he is on the blind side of that ruck, and once he finds that space, good 400-metre kind of style of running from him, and he finds Steve Ford on the outside as one man to beat, but his speed...
Well, looking for support from Gord McKinnon, the flanker. Anyway, getting up ahead of steam then as Tynan goes to the blind side. Still keeps the ball alive as Mark Jones tries to pull him down.
Jones doing some good work here. The referee's whistle going then, and Hadley again involved, the number 5, the 2 number 5s in fact. Hadley 6'7" and 17 stone 2 of him. Playing against Gareth Llewellyn and quite dwarfing him, isn't he? Getting a talking to, in fact, from the referee. Gareth Llewellyn, the Welshman, just 20 years of age. Just over a year ago, he was still playing for Llanharan. Now established himself in the Neath side. Taken in the middle of the line this time then by Canada. But that ball not going to come back. Canada, like Wales, as you see from the sign, very much a bilingual nation. French and English, of course, in their case. Using the Welsh there, though. So a scrum on halfway. Good strike then by Spears. As Gareth Rees looks to attack. Steve Gray has come over from the left wing, getting support from Shane Brown. Looking quite impressive, this man, jinking back inside. Support from the replacement, Robert Ross. The charge is by the flanker, McKinnon. And yes, getting to the line. So Canada then getting their second try of this game.
And that was a marvellous three-quarter movement by Canada. One or two people swapping positions in the three-quarter line. Good passing, good fingertip passing from them, ending with Brown. And let's look at it again. Here we are, some lovely passing starting there with Rees. And the way that Brown then loops up on the outside, the centre here coming outside the winger. And he gets Paul Thomey here in two minds, I think, before he does pass the ball. And finally, with plenty of support there, coming finally from McKinnon to get the try.
Gareth Rees then at 31-11 with a fairly straightforward conversion attempt. Just composes himself and stokes it between the posts. So the Canadians coming back into it then at 31-13. Towards Ennis, but tapped back there on the Welsh side. The Welsh penalised though at the line-out, so a penalty then to Canada, really having a good period of play again here. But Wales still 18 points clear. The Canadians, though, attacking once again through Brown. McKinnon, the try scorer. Really looking threateningly again, the Canadians. Robert Ross, the replacement, trying to rejoin his three quarters. And the penalty offside against Wales there. Against Mike Budd, the flanker, and something obviously said. Quickly taken by Gareth Rees. Ennis is the driving player. Good play, the flick pass inside to Chris Tynan. Just a few metres out now then from the Welsh line. Looking for the second phase possession. Yes, here it comes, and outside is Jabo, and over in the corner. The Canadians then really coming back into this game.
And a lot of loose play, I think, from Wales. Wales not ready for this at all. Their backs turned, in fact, as Rees takes the quick penalty here. Good flick pass inside there to number 9, Tynan. And although the ball is very slow coming back, Wales should really have reorganised for this because the ball does take a bit of time. But Zabo, unmarked on the wing, gets the try.
Gareth Rees then from the touchline. But that ball not drifting in. But the Canadians, 31-17. Thorburn, deep kickoff taken by the skipper Radu for Canada. And again, getting the possession. Ennis, outstanding performer in this game for Canada. Through goes Staff Jones. Mark Jones also going through. Penalty awarded though to Canada. Referee calling Mark Jones over, and in fact sending him off. Well, that seemed to be something of an innocuous challenge.
Well, it seems to me, it looks to me as he might be trying to step over several bodies there in his attempt to get at the ball. It seemed from this distance, at any rate, looking at the pictures here, that it was something of an unfair decision.
The play continuing then with Shane Brown. But can't get the pass out left there, and Steve Ford taking the ball into touch. What a blow then for Wales. The penalty award against Wales again, though, as Mark Jones very slowly goes off the pitch. As the Canadians run the ball again through McKinnon. Denzel Lloyd, the manager, finally taking Mark Jones off the field. Another penalty award to Canada. So the Canadians putting pressure on Wales, and Wales now down then to 14 men. Quickly taken by Tynan. Oh, Wales just looking on there as Jabo goes through for his second try. My word, what's happening here?
Again, I think that the Welsh team were caught napping here by the quick thinking of Tynan at scrum half. And let's look at this prop forward here, coming again as if from deep position, dropping his body, diving for the line. Really a good try for the prop.
Gareth Rees then again looking for the extra points. That's nicely chipped. That's a beautiful kick, and the Canadians now then back to within 8 points of Wales. Tap down at the back once again by Ennis for Canada. Rees with Brown outside him, taken down though. The second replacement, Mike Tepper for Canada. Flank forward, driving on. But the referee finally blows his whistle and gives the foot in at the scrum to the Canadians. (31-23) Wales leading, but time enough for the Canadians to get more points on the board. About 6 minutes to go in this game. And really surprising this, Wales having led by 28 points to 0 before half-time. The hack through by Bridges as back goes Gareth Rees. Taken by Robert Ross, this young outside half I mentioned earlier. Really tremendous prospect. The pickup and drive by Canada then, going into the Welsh half once again. Getting the second phase possession. Rees spinning it long to Brown. Taking men on this time, linking though there with Ross again. But away then comes Scott Stewart, the fullback. The ball out to Gray on the right wing, going for the line. Just held up by Wayford, the flick pass inside though. And that's Norm Hadley who touches down underneath the posts. So my word, the Canadians back to 31-27.
This brings the Canadians back now dangerously closer to the Welsh score. The Welshmen down to 14 men, of course. They are defending desperately now, it seems to me, but still you can't take anything away from what was a marvellous try.
Touch judge being brought in there by the referee. Spotted something just talking to Paul Thorburn about it as Rees awaits to take the conversion. 31-27 then. Can Rees put Canada within 2 points of Wales? He can do. Can they come back and actually win this game? No, in fact, the referee's whistle goes for the end of the game. 31-29 then to Wales at the end. The side scoring 5 tries apiece. The Wales getting through thanks to the greater accuracy of Paul Thorburn. Just one conversion in it. Wales winning 31-29 after leading by 28 points to 0 just before half-time.
Victory number 4, though, in 4 games for Paul Thorburn's men. What did the Canadian coach, though, make of the game?
Well, I think when people watch the game, they'll realize it was a game of 2 halves, and they may not realize the kind of breeze we've got going on this field. Fairly indicative that we were able to score 4 points against the breeze, and Wales were able to score 3 points against the breeze, and all the rest of the scoring was with the breeze. Canada, very, very flat in the first half. Welsh didn't make many mistakes at all, and when Canada made mistakes, they made us pay for them. A bit more pressure in the second half. I think we're probably a little fitter. I think that the tour that the Wales have had sort of, you know, you realize when you're away from your home country and you're playing all these games in a series of late nights, it begins to add on you in a game of this pace. And that kind of pressure we put on the second half. With the breeze at our back, we're able to come back and score some tries and make this game a little more respectable.
Well, this is a game we came out here to win, really. Out of all the 6 games we play, and this is the one that we wanted to win, and you know, we did it today. And you know, I think that the young players showed a lot of character today, and obviously, you know, there is something to build on. But, we've got the 4 wins under our belt now.
So to Calgary, the Rockies, wonderful surroundings for training and relaxing. Mr. President joins in the fun at the manager's expense. Now, though, time to get back to the serious stuff. 11 changes from the Canada game. Can Wales make its straight victory number 5?
Julian Loveday then, the skipper for Alberta, putting in, out to Loshuk, the outside half. Little kick as across comes Thorburn, takes the ball, a hack downfield. And that's a good kick by the Welsh skipper. 34 tries then, Wales have scored in the 4 matches to date. This game should be a little easier than the Canada test. As Kevin Ellis, the scrum half, goes burrowing in, but Wales penalised there. Phil John, Pontypridd hooker, getting up. Teammate Di Hopkins doesn't agree with that decision either. John Loshuk then. And that's a good, safe touch finder by the Alberta outside half. Andy Sutton of Newbridge beaten to the ball that time, though, but coming back on the Welsh side. Phil John again going burrowing in. Ellis out to Paul Turner, opening it up to Mark Ring. The kick into space for Damien Griffiths to run onto. That ball, though, bouncing nicely for Bud Patel, the fullback for Alberta. But the pickup by Wakeford gets Wales going again. Hopkins out to Arthur Emmer. Playing his 5th game, played in every game on the tour so far, Arthur Emmer. Mark Ring, John Wakeford again. Good support play here by Wales. And again, they keep the ball alive. Ewan Jones, one of those characteristic little bursts of his. Ellis waiting again. Thorburn in the outside half position. Turner jinking back inside. Very much Turner's style, isn't it? And Ellis getting the ball out to Leahy, but Damien Griffiths unable to take the pass. So Wales then missing a chance there. Kevin Ellis then feeding the scrum. The ball at the feet of David Bryant, who's moved over to the number 8 position. In the absence, of course, of Mark Jones. Going for the pushover try, yes, and getting there. David Bryant then getting his 2nd try of the tour. And Wales in the lead. But Thorburn missing the conversion. 4-0 to Wales. The Alberta scrum under pressure. Wales taking it well then as Ellis goes on his own. Ewan Jones again in there, as is Bryant. By Hopkins, the number 6, waiting for the ball, playing at scrum half to Turner. Takes that ball nicely. Nice jinking run to Mark Ring. Oh, that's a beautiful bit of play by Mark Ring. Oh, tremendous style by the Welsh centre. And that's a fabulous try by Mark Ring. Wales is 2nd of the game.
And clearly Paul Turner at outside half finding plenty of room. Not much attention being paid to him at the moment as he finds the gap. Plenty of space there. Good alignment then by Mark Ring, showing his casual, easy motion, dummying one way, and then, although there's a lot of defence, he's got enough speed to get over in the corner.
Points to 0 then to Wales. Things warming up a little out there between the 2 number 5s, Basil Lewis and Andrew Sutton. Referee Harvey from Ontario trying to cool things down.
Strange how it is that when there is a bit of nonsense like that, a bit of fisticuffs, how a number of people want to join in rather than simply leaving it to the 1 or 2 contestants who started it in the first place.
The referee then calling the two packs together, wanting to get this sorted out quickly. Number 6 on the Alberta side, Jim Coote, as John Loshuk then waits to kick for goal from the penalty. That's a nicely struck kick. Yes, and he gets there. So Alberta back into it then at 8-3. Phil John going towards Andrew Sutton. It's in fact Di Hopkins who takes it at the back for Wales. Ellis feeding Turner again to Ring. Playing sevens, isn't he, Mark Ring? Linking again with Paul Turner. Back inside to Di Hopkins. Yes, keeping the ball alive. John Wakefield. Thorburn again, the long pass to Leahy. Wales reveling really in the space they've been given at the moment. Let's see what Mark Ring does here. Yes, another lovely sidestep from Ring. Can he get his second try? The kick, in fact, for Damien Griffiths on the right wing. But John Distonell, in fact, it was Arthur Emyr who'd got over on that right wing, coming over from the left. Tap back again then by Sutton, doing well in the line-out. Turner, dummying. Looking now then for support. The Alberta forwards tending to fall on the wrong side, but back it comes to Wales, to Ewan Jones. Again, driving in from short range. Good support play again by Andrew Sutton. The pickup, Hugh Williams-Jones going for it. But in fact, the Alberta players charging through, so a penalty then for Wales. Phil John wanting to take it Pontypridd style, I think, there, but discretion at the end as Kevin Ellis puts the ball at his feet, using Phil John as the pivot. A little slow there, really, though. But now, Bryant getting over the gain line. Half tackled by Muir, the centre. Muir lying on the ground, but the ball looking to come back. Yes, on the Welsh side to Turner. Switching to this side of the field. Jinking has Leahy outside him, misses him out. To Arthur Emyr. Yes, Emyr getting to the line for his 7th try of the tour, having played in every match.
And Turner really finding plenty of space, or at least making space for himself. Plenty of open air for him in this match. He goes through the gap, and a long pass then, seeing that Arthur Emyr is empty and free on the left. Gives him the pass, but really Arthur Emyr still has quite a lot to do with 2 tacklers to beat to get to the line.
12 points to 3 then. Quick heel allowing Kevin Ellis to spin the ball to Arthur Emyr. Out to Damien Griffiths. Can the right winger also get on the score sheet? Arthur Emyr also there, keeping the ball alive. Into Kevin Ellis. And the try then for the scrum half. Wales' 4th try of this first half.
16-3 then at half-time. Wales in control.
David Bryant then looking to shepherd the ball back for Kevin Ellis. To Paul Turner. This time, the little kick into space for Leahy to run onto. The pickup is by Bud Patel. Inside to Muir. Patel on the outside. Oh, a comeback here by Alberta. A fine try by the fullback. So first blood then of this second half to the home team.
And it really was an unkind bounce for Leahy to begin with, but it was Patel then who took full advantage of it for Muir to come away, and then finding a return pass to Patel sufficient enough for him to cross over for the try.
Alberta then bringing it back to 16-7. Paul Thorburn, long, deep kick-off there, down towards the Alberta line. Alberta looking to attack. This is refreshing from them. Up over there, 22. But then the ball going loose, allowing David Hopkins and Pontypridd back row man to pick the ball up for Wales as Kevin Ellis waits, pointing to the referee that that ball can't come back. And the penalty, yes, awarded to Wales. So a chance here again maybe for the Welsh skipper, Paul Thorburn. Paul Thorburn with his first successful kick of this match. It's 19-7 to Wales. Hooker Pomelow putting in, but it breaks on the Welsh side. Now, what will Turner do this time? He opens it up for Ring. Leahy. Damien Griffiths to Arthur Emyr. Trying to get round the fullback Patel. But into touch. Damien Griffiths coming over from the right wing to help Wales out there and release Arthur Emyr. So Wales then just 2 or 3 meters out from the Alberta line. Pierre Pomerleau then, the Alberta hooker, going towards the front. Tap back though on the Welsh side. Now Turner with Leahy at his shoulder. Goes his own way though. Slips the ball to David Bryant. Ewan Jones also in there. Good platform for Wales. Hopkins drives on to Wakeford. Wales though at the moment not really getting anywhere. Looking to rip this ball back. It won't come, but a scrum to Wales, so they can keep up the pressure on Alberta. Front row going down, changed front row. Ricky Evans, Phil John, Hugh Williams-Jones for Wales, as Kevin Ellis then feeds. Turner, the 1-2 with Ring. A little flick pass there into Thorburn. This is a nice move. Bryant, lovely move here by Wales. Leahy at his shoulder. Yes, Colin Leahy over for a try, and that's one of the best tries scored by Wales on this tour.
And what a lovely, delicate move this is from Wales. Really a lovely try. Let's look at this now. There's several changes of direction here. Starting first of all with Turner to Ring, back to Turner, and that lovely flick pass from Turner to send Thorburn away back towards the forwards. But he does well, instead of going back into the pack again, he goes to the open side, finds support from Bryant, and then Leahy, with his power, comes back inside to dive over. Lovely try.
Paul Thorburn converting then, so Wales regaining control, 25-7. What a barging in that line out. Ricky Evans, it is finally the Llanelli loose head prop who does the sweeping roll. Wales though will want to get this ball back now. But they go to ground, so it has to be a scrum down. Hugh Williams-Jones, number 3, won a cap, of course, as a replacement in Scotland this year. A few tired people, it would seem, there at the moment. Finally getting up, though. Bryant taking his place at number 8 as Kevin Ellis waits to feed the scrum. Bryant picks the ball up. Hopkins, a difficult ball for him to take. But the knock-on. So this time then, Alberta ball. Lovely the skipper, the drive from Wales. Pushing them over the line, trying to get in there for the touchdown. No, this will be another scrum, and this time Wales's ball, surely. Yes, signalled by Mr. Harvey. Kevin Ellis then, hoping to make use of Wales's advantage in the tight, dummying there to try and catch them offside, and it's David Bryant now taking it on, looking maybe for his second pushover try, controlling the ball quite well there, coming loose in the end though, but play allowed to continue, and it's Ellis getting to the line himself for his second try then of this game. A delighted Bridgend scrum half. Paul Turner then doing the honours, holding the ball for Paul Thorburn. That's beautifully judged, the kick, making use of the wind. So Wales's lead, 24 points.
In Somerset and Dorset West, where they came second to the sitting member Margaret Daly and polled 54,000.
Trick then.
To him, gives the confidence then for Bryant to pick up, draws the back row defence, and Ellis with a dummy to his right dives over. Good work.
Paul Turner flinches there, but that's beautifully done again. A repeat of the last kick by Paul Thorburn. And Wales now 30 points clear. Again, the Alberta scrum under pressure from Wales. But Coote the flanker trying to drive away, but Wales have stolen the ball. Turner, Ring outside it, makes the break, then makes use of Mark Ring. Steaming up is Leahy, and Colin Leahy then, yes, just about getting to the line, under the tackle of John Distinell.
Turner has been able to do, it seems, at any rate, anything he likes during this game. He's found plenty of space. Lovely pass to Ring. And look at this floating pass from Ring then to Leahy. Leahy having a clear run to the line, but Disternal coming over from the left nearly stops the score, but it's Leahy's try.
Colin Leahy's second try of the game as Paul Thorburn tries to make it 3 successful kicks. But that time the ball just drifting wide of the posts. Quickly taken penalty then. The ball drifting infield. Turner again. Really reveling in this game, having so much room, Paul Turner. As Ellis feeds Leahy in the outside half position. Arthur Emyr has come over from the left wing, going for the gap. Damon Griffiths outside him. Arthur Emyr still going powerfully, but into the corner flag. But a really strong run there by Arthur Emyr, having come over from the left wing. So the line-out will form then almost on the Alberta line. Wakeford at the front, trying to tap it down. Ricky Evans going in there. Wakeford, but into touch, and the ball going forward. So they're going way in field here for the scrum down. As Kevin Ellis again then feeds. David Bryant looking maybe for a secondary shove here by Wales. The scrum going down, but play allowed to continue. In control Wales, the drive over and the try awarded. And I think at the end we'll see David Bryant, the Welsh skipper, getting his second touchdown of the game. And that's a lovely kick again by Paul Thorburn. Wales almost up to 50. Taken by Andrew Sutton. Newbridge teammate Paul Turner. The long pass as Leahy has Arthur Emyr. Powerful run, diving in though with 2 feet there. Now Phil John. Turner to Ring. Thorburn up from fullback. Damon Griffiths not getting the ball, but it's Leahy and Ring. The centres combining, finally getting the ball then to the flyer from Newport. The chip over the top. But a late tackle surely there, yes indeed, on Damien Griffiths. So what will Wales do here? I'm sure they'll want to get over the 50-point mark. So it'll be the tap. Ellis to Turner. Bryant at his shoulder. The long pass from Ring to Arthur Emyr. And Arthur Emyr, his second try of the game, and Wales is 10th.
Really no problem here for Wales. The Alberta side in all sorts of disarray as Wales just simply move it along the line, and one mismove there, missing Leahy out, gives Arthur Emyr the simplest of tries.
And another superb kick by the Welsh skipper then. 53 points to Wales. Alberta at the death then. Through Ian Cathry, trying to create a platform for something maybe. 53-7 to Wales at the moment. Just a few minutes left. Loveday, the scrum half, hoping he can generate something here for his side, some sort of consolation for them. This time, as the scrum goes down, the referee asks them to go back up again. Wales then putting on the drive, but too quickly before the ball was in, so a free kick then to Alberta. Quickly taken by Loveday, linking with Coote, the flanker. But Wales hadn't retreated 10 yards, so has to be retaken then. Linking with Pomelo, spinning it wide this time then. Looking now then for second phase possession, Alberta. Back it comes, Muir spins it to Coote. Coote going through some tackles there and getting to the line. Yes, that's the consolation for Alberta. A try from the flanker, Jim Coote.
A try which had more to do with loose, leisurely tackling from Wales rather than an exceptional ability from the Canadian side. There we see going through 2-3 tackles before finally getting over to get the try.
John Washuk then, who kicked the first half penalty, adding a conversion. 53 points to 13 to Wales as the final whistle goes.
So, how has Wales's playmakers seen the tour develop?
We've obviously been thrown together. We've been 3.5 weeks together. There's a lot of sort of camaraderie there, but it is a sort of, as you say, thrown together side. A lot of clubs who come out to this area find it a lot easier because obviously they've been together all season. But we're moulding into a more than useful outfit. The problem is we'll be going home next week.
What have you made of the Canadian style of rugby?
Very good tacklers. That's the first thing that I found in Toronto myself. They lack everything but a little bit of skill to polish it off, but as they showed in the test match, there's a lot of youngsters coming on the Canadian scene, and they're marketed in the game in the right way in Canada.
It's always best to drive on a dry road, even in the rain. So Michelin has developed the MX range to give more grip in the wet. Every movement of water in the tyre has been computer.
Time to get some rest with just one mountain left to climb. That's British Columbia, i.e. Canada again. Over the Rockies then and into Vancouver. In 3 weeks, the tour party have crossed Canada, all the way from Halifax in the east.
Eight of the Rugby Canada team, in fact, playing in this game. They could have chosen 14, and they've also brought in Bruce Breen, a flanker who played against Wales in the World Cup. Colin Stevens going for an early drop goal for Wales, but that ricocheting, and a chance then for Gray on the left wing for British Columbia to set something up for them here. Roy Randu, the Canadian skipper, given a rest today by the selectors, as Arthur Emmett then goes back as Gareth Rees tries to hack through there for the try, but Arthur Emmett has the pace to get back there. Chris Bridges played against Rugby Canada, back in the side now, but the Canadians actually putting some pressure on the scrum. Bridges switches, Thorburn, and that's Kerry Jones with a kick into touch, and getting hurt there very early on in this game, just 5 minutes gone. Tap back then on the Canadian side, Gareth Rees. Missing a man out to Brown. Sperenza was there also with the ball not reaching him, and on the interception come Wales then. Now then looking for support. It's David Bryant, again playing at number 8 in this game. Wales keeping the ball alive through Lawrence Delaney. Ian Watkins, the hooker, joining in too. The ball wanted now. Ewan Jones taking the pass from Bryant, driving on towards the line. Just when Wales looked as if they might make that ball available, prevented from doing so, in fact, so penalty awarded. But the kick by Thorburn just wide of the posts. Gareth Rees then waiting to drop out for British Columbia. Another really big pack to aim for, but going long this time. Steve Ford puts up the reply, the kick forward. Tackled late again there by the look of it. And yes, the referee awarding the penalty. So a second chance then in as many minutes for Paul Thorburn. And that looks better. Early penalty then by Paul Thorburn. 3-0 to Wales. He's up to 42 points for the tour. Wales with Wakefield at the front and Llewellyn in the middle to aim for. Goes towards Llewellyn, but it's tapped back again on the Canadian side. Gareth Rees to this man Brown, the 6-footer. The Auckland Maori now settled in Canada, Shane Brown. That ball back again and on the Canadian side. Gareth Rees trying to go for the gap. Out to Gray on the left wing. Trying to get the pass back inside to Hooker Spears. Ball ending up in touch, but some action early on in this game. The ball having gone forward, in fact. Referee calls then for a scrum. Scrum half Ian Mackay for British Columbia. Man from Dawson Creek, saying everything, that name, about this area. The drive in again then. The ball available on the Canadian side. Putting on the pressure then, early on, looking for the first try of the game. The long pass to Shane Brown. Again, trying to charge his way through. The possession once again coming British Columbia's way. Now can they spin it wide here to Gray. The 1-2 with Gareth Rees. Bryant over to cover. Wales for the moment holding up British Columbia, but the ball again available on the Canadian side. The feet going in there. Maybe some hands also.
Yes, it was a case there, I think, of Bud going over the top and not allowing the ball to get back on the British Columbia side, and it's a penalty.
So Gareth Rees then going for the posts, trying to equalise Paul Thorburn's early penalty. Good shot by Gareth Rees. So British Columbia 3, Wales 3.
What's the score at BC 3, Wales 3?
Chris Bridges then reclaiming his place from Kevin Ellis for a scrum, and the ball will go to Wales. Still waiting here then for the first try of the game. 3-all, 2 penalties. Bryant picks up to Bridges, trying to use his strength, flicks the ball down. The centre's in centre field. Leahy on there, number 17 for Kerry Jones. Missed out on that move. Emyr makes the ball available, and Stevens can switch it to this side of the field. Ring, he now can put Steve Ford in maybe for the try. Yes, Ford getting there. His 12th try of the tour, Steve Ford.
And it's the good work of Arthur Emyr in midfield, first of all, that makes it such a vital score. Let's look at this now. Arthur Emyr caught in midfield, is forced to go back inside, uses a bit of force, a bit of guile with that sidestep, but this is the crucial part. He is held, he hangs on to the ball and then releases. And because the quicker release, it gives time for Stevens, Ring, and then finally Ford to have the space to cross over in the corner.
Thorburn then looking to convert Wales' 45th try of this tour. And that's an absolute beauty by Paul Thorburn. So Wales extend their lead then to 9-3. Watkins again striking quickly there. Bryant controlling the ball, releasing it at the base. Bridges, the kick into space for Arthur Emyr to charge up on. John Graff, the man going back, brought in at the last moment into this side, John Graff. Normally a scrum half. And a good clearance kick, 2-touch there by the 20-year-old Canadian student. John Graff toured Argentina and New Zealand with Canada this year. As Ian Watkins waits for the instructions from his scrum half, Chris Bridges, to put into this line-out. Towards Wakefield at the front. Whistle goes, though, and a penalty to Wales. So maybe another chance here for Paul Thorburn to extend Wales's lead. Using just the blue tees which we've seen on this tour to make sure the ball stands up for him. That's well struck again, right down the middle. Beautiful kick by Paul Thorburn. 12 points to 3. To the line out then. The ball finally reaching Chris Bridges. To Colin Stevens. Misses out to man. Ring comes in on the loop. Lovely dummy by Ring. The pass here out to Steve Ford. But the pass forward, the referee calls them back. Referee not happy with the binding of the front row, waiting for them to go down before allowing Ian Mackay, the scrum half with a headband, to feed the ball. The pickup by Ennis. Feeds the ball to Mackay, going for the line. Yes, that's a try.
The try by BC is
So British Columbia then coming back into it through scrum half, Ian Mackay.
A good solid scrummage here by British Columbia with the number 8 positioning himself between lock and wing forward. He picks up the ball, serves Mackay on his right, a little dummy, and then dips his shoulder, seeing the line, and crashes his way over.
Lawrence Delaney then propping on this side of the scrum for Wales. As David Bryant keeps an eye on Mackay. Bridges, though, still forced to try and whip that ball across, and Arthur Emyr at the end having to walk into touch. And rather harshly, it seems, Arthur Emyr penalised there for supposedly throwing the ball away, but it's a penalty anyway to British Columbia as Gareth Rees sets up his forwards. Noah then, big lock forward, charging through, outside him, his Spears the hooker, back in to Breen the flanker. This is a lovely move. Jabo the prop, tight head prop, trying to get to the line, but in fact just in touch there. But good forward play there by British Columbia from that tap penalty. So the line out then just a few metres out, beautifully taken by John Wakeford, really getting to grips now, it would seem, with the front of the line position. The hooker's getting involved in a little altercation. Glenn Ennis, the number 8 as well. And in fact, more and more of the players getting involved. Brown, the centre, coming in and landing a real haymaker there on Gareth Llewellyn. Now Wakeford involved also with a big lock now. And really, Gerald, getting out of hand.
Well, it really doesn't make any sense at all when you think of how innocuous an incident was to begin with Ian Watkins involved with the hooker who's trying to get the ball off the ground to throw into the line out again. And yet from that incident of one or two players, let's look at number 13 here. Llewellyn throws a punch there. Look at number 13 running across about 10-15 metres, and from behind he smacks Llewellyn on the face. But really, it's all a bit of nonsense, arising out of nothing. One or two players initially involved, and yet we found all 30 players somehow getting mixed up in a very unsavoury incident altogether.
The referee talking to both captains here, Paul Thorburn of Wales and Gareth Rees, managing somehow or other to bring a smile out of them. But it's a penalty awarded anyway here to the Canadians. The drive over is by the prop Eddie Evans, and they've scored. So right into the Welsh noses then, Evans getting in 21-11.
British Columbia really taking advantage of a disorganised Welsh defence after that ticking off earlier on, and being so close to the line. It's a marvellous low drive from Evans to get the score.
Score for BC.
Two tries then, it's 21-11. Spears the hooker, going long towards the back. Taken by Breen for British Columbia. Once again, as the Canadians did, picking up some steam now and running at Wales. The long pass out towards Gray, the left winger. Held up for the moment as Hassler, the fullback, tries to go in to get the ball back. Wales, though, steal the ball through hooker Ian Watkins. Wales trying to group then together to get this ball back. The feet going in from now the lock, and also the fists. And the man from Albuquerque behaving a bit like a Mexican bandit there, and getting a warning from the referee. Paul Thorburn just cooling things down. And it's Colin Stevens then who look to clear to touch. Slightly off the edge of the boot, but finding a safe touch. Spears in towards the front. The ball finally back on the Canadian side. Gareth Rees then, the long pass. Arthur Emyr almost in to intercept, but now it's John Graf. Hacks the ball downfield. Thorburn across, and claiming there that the ball had gone out on the full. Beautiful take by Glenn Ennis at the back. Feeds the ball to Spears, the hooker. Nice move this. The ball back inside there to Mike Tupper. Yes, a try, the third try then for British Columbia in this half, and they're back in it again.
And a few gaps appeared in the Welsh line out there, which Ennis takes advantage of. First of all, some good interpassing following here by the British Columbian forwards. There it's Spears with the ball now. He goes along the touchline, looks for support inside, and good timing of the pass there from him to Tupper, who crosses over despite Bryant's tackle, gets the try.
John Graf then taking over the kicking from Gareth Rees, trying to bring British Columbia up to within 4 points of the Welsh total. Just inside the upright, yes, that's a fine kick. So, yes, 21-17. Plenty of time to go. Spears then going, Llewellyn trying to tap back, but it's the Canadians again who get the possession. Green this time, charging down centre field. The ball taken on by Speranza. The long pass to the replacement, Wanamaker. Going towards the corner, Thorburn over. Now then, that's a try. The try awarded. Wales protest, but the try is given, so it's 21-all.
Clearly there is some doubt here amongst the Welsh players as to whether it's a try or not. Let's look closely at it. The crucial man is the man with the ball now, Wanamaker, on the wing. Faced with Ford, he gets out of his despairing tackle, and let's look what happens now. Thorburn tackles him, he turns him, and the ball goes down now. And it's then that the flag is moved.
So then, can John Groff actually give this British Columbia side a dramatic victory? No, that's a poor attempt, so it's 21 points all. Wales haven't been brought back from 18-3 up as the final whistle goes. Wales outscored in this game by 4 tries to 1, but Paul Thorburn's 17 points, bringing them a draw and an unbeaten record at the end of this tour.
Paul Thorburn and his men ready for their summer break then. But what did the British Columbian skipper, Gareth Rees, make of the side from the land of his father?
I think they obviously start better than we do, and when they get on top, I think when they got going forward, we're very effective, and their loose forwards especially were very, very quick to the ball. I think it showed up, and I feel that although they're young, there's a lot of potential. And perhaps I feel they didn't use it enough in the likes of Mark Ring and such. They didn't move the ball wide as we'd like, especially in the Canadian game. I was disappointed that they didn't swing the ball wide, and I know that the Welsh backs have talent in the tradition.
You came close twice.
Yeah, a little closer this time, but unfortunately, kicks, I guess, was the difference. We showed a lot of character, which is great to see, and I think we talk about the levels of Canadian rugby and the development that we've had, starting with the World Cup, I think was the first one, and this perhaps is our next development, this incoming tour, and we've shown that we can play at that level for a lot longer. We've also shown that we can come back. I guess now the next step is to get the results, and today the British Columbia game was perhaps the next level up, but we got the draw, but obviously we got to look for the wins.
I think the players are a little bit disappointed that they let such a lead slip, but I think in the circumstances, in the conditions, it was a long and an arduous tour. I think to come out here and go back unbeaten is a credit to the players, and particularly the youngsters. I think they've learned a lot. I think they've picked up a lot from the more experienced players and the conditions that they've played under, and I think it will be a benefit to them and to Welsh rugby in the future.
So I suppose you feel somewhat like Julius Caesar at the end of this tour. You came, you saw, and you've conquered.
Yes, it would have been nice to win 6 out of 6 and not draw the last one, but I think we set our sights on winning 6 out of 6. Drawing the last one perhaps is a slight slip, but I think we'll be satisfied in an hour's time.
Where does it fit into your overall plan of development in facing the All Blacks and then the World Cup, this kind of tour?
Well, I think this kind of tour was basically aimed at bringing on youngsters, like the halfbacks that played today, the 2 second rows, the back row players. Quite a number of players on the tour who are young, developing, need experience in competition, because after all, the pressures that are on them, although if you look at the field, you may not think it was an international type rugby game, but the pressures on the players are almost like an international, and I think they need that pressure before they step up into the full international arena. It's been a long trip, and it's an arduous one. We realised how big Canada is. It's a big country, and we've travelled right across it. We've experienced lots of different weather changes and time changes, and I think the boys have done very, very well to come out of it unbeaten.
Just a short break now then for the Welsh players. 2.5 months to go to the start of the season. Pre-season training pretty soon. So while the British Lions continue in Australia, we look forward with great anticipation to the New Zealanders jetting in for their tour this autumn.